Well, you know, from the time I was a kid, a teenager, that I really just loved the sound of the guitar. And it wasn't until my 20s that I started taking playing seriously. But it absorbed so much of what I was doing then as a player. And right around the same time, I decided that, you know, making guitars could be an option for actually making a living. Playing is a tough road to go. For that matter, making guitars is a hard way to make a living too. But the two just went together in terms of passion. I specialize in classical guitars. It doesn't mean that all that gets played on it is classical music, although that is where it begins. There's a lot of aesthetics that go along with that. It's transplanted more from Europe than the other instruments have been. John Gilbert was a very world-famous guitar maker, lives in Woodside, still lives there. He's retired now. But he was my first the first guitar maker I knew and admired and still do. But I think the real influence was a concept of lifestyle. It's like doing something you love, doing something that comes out of the pure passion of life and of a lifetime. And so choosing both, you know, an artistic trajectory and I guess you'd say a business or a work trajectory that offers every kind of experience and every kind of satisfaction. So this is where the wood gets stashed until we need it. And the guitar is made out of wood from all over the world. No matter where it's made from wood from all over the world. The bulk of the material has to be imported. All of these woods are the traditional woods. First you have to pull in the materials, the concepts, and the skills from the whole world. All around the world, really global. Then we make the instruments, we build them here, and then what happens? The instruments go back out into the whole world. So when I was in my 20s, in the 1970s, I thought, oh, I'm going to reinvent this. I'm going to make my mark. It's going to be unique. It's going to be unique to my own personality, artistic influences. But I kind of went away from it and then came back to it in the late 80s. And by that time I thought, I don't really know what I'm doing. Then, over time, I started having my own ideas and my own influences and, you know, reconstituting the various concepts that I had been practicing by copying other people in a lot of ways and coming up with my own recipe in a way. See, here's the internals. This lattice work is part of, let's say, the modernness of the design that's going on here. It's not exactly traditional, but it's working out really well for us. The next thing is that these sides get adjusted, get bent, and they wind up going on like this. And it just starts out very bulky like this, and then we have to cut these shapes. We have to cut all of this. You know, I've got sounds in my ears and my head that I want to have happen. And I find, oh, look, if I do this, I go in that direction. So I want the same thing everybody wants. I want it to have a beautiful sound. I want it to play loud, to play soft, to play bright, to play dark, to be expressive, easy to play, fun, and kind of sexy to play. That's what I want. I think that's what everybody wants out of it. Different people will have different ideas about what that really means, what's the good sound. There's no right answer to this.
Dude, I gotta mention, I love how you keep focus. You almost caught that fly.
I know. I remember the Obama. Cool.
That was cool.